finally some real food. Hey, you!
That was a tough watch. I hated the whole thing. We passed a McDonald's and they called it the American Embassy.
I'm gonna start calling it that one.
Hi. Many things, I guess. Safety.
Healthcare.
Healthcare. I don't think Europe is safe anyways.
Not, but like the tipping, for example.
The tipping culture, like in America, is mandatory and in Europe is not. Is it generally, do people tip a little or is it just not a thing at all? It depends on the person. Like usually if you get a good service or they just treat you well, you just give it. But it's not like I have to.
And people who work in cafes or restaurants, like their salary, they have an actual salary. So their salary does not come from tips. So this is why we're not stingy, it's not a thing. People like servers have an actual salary. So their salary does not come from our tips. Another thing, Americans love iced water. You walk into a restaurant, you sit, boom, they give you a glass of ice water.
I didn't know that. That is common, yeah. It's very common. Do you have free ice water? Yep. Yep. In Europe, you always pay for the water. Yeah, that was shocking to me because I always found that to be like a good money saver, especially because tipping, right? If you have a drink that adds more to the bill and then you have to tip higher. So I always found water to be a money saver. I was like, why is my water $4? There are some places that you can ask for tap water for free, but usually tap water is not drinkable in many places, so I don't recommend you that.
Culture shocks I had when visiting Spain.
Is this the line? Is this the line? Hola.
Face.
Hola. It's getting so late. Are we gonna eat dinner? It's only 7:30. Dinner won't be for hours.
You had those? Well, for the touchiness, I had that in Korea. So like, I think if I went now, I wouldn't be traumatized. Because, I don't know, have you seen people on the subway where they're like, it's PDA on levels that like shouldn't be allowed? I've seen that a lot in Seoul. It could be during my university time, I saw it a lot. And like that totally desensitized me, so I think now that wouldn't bother. The where is the line thing? What is that? I didn't get the line thing too. Yeah. The dirty look was funny though. The dirty look had me dead, where they were like, what? For the kissing thing, I think like it's not that common these days. Like I feel like for young people would do that. Like isn't that everywhere? Really exactly. But I feel like adult people doing that in the street, you're not gonna see that commonly.
But I do think PDA, like in Portugal or like in Europe in general, it's far more common than here. I don't consider what they do here to be at all.
I feel it's generally like a little bit rude if you do it in public, but maybe you can see that more often. But I don't think it's like, wow, if you go to Spain, you're gonna see this, yes or yes. Yeah, I think for this one, they're probably just pointing on the fact that like, I'd say Canada too, and the US are pretty anti-PDA, like of all sorts. Not like that they're gonna like punch you in the face for hugging your boyfriend, but people do like kind of give you like a lot, so people feel kind of weird about it, and a lot of people in like relationships, they talk about it before they start dating. They're like, are you the PDA type or not? Because a lot of people feel really embarrassed. But I think if you go to another place, and maybe I'm just not a good American, but like I wouldn't find that to be a culture shock. I'd just be like, oh, people are more expressive. In our countries, it's like normal to be affectionate with your partner in public, but not to that extent. Like just like a hug or like a kiss or like something like just, you know, like you can be a little bit touchy, but not like in the middle of the street. It's like,
as I was just saying, it's not normal, but it happens a lot.
It does happen, yeah. It depends on the area. Like if you're in a club area and it's 5 a.m., you're gonna see that more often than it's 4 p.m. and you're in a cafe.
In the park, you'll always see the random couple.
Student areas too. Is there a fake line? For like, I feel like we do get in line and wait in line, but I feel a lot of people try to skip line in Spain, actually, like, you know, like trying to wait less or being like, this happens a lot in the supermarkets, like you're waiting, maybe you have like 2 things, and there's always this old lady like, oh, I only have like this bananas, let me go, and like think of like, do you let her go, or do you just like, I was here first, or, but like the 2 lines and 1 being fake, I don't really know about that.
Maybe they see the one person jumping ahead and then it creates confusion on whether the line is real.
Rather than waiting in line, there's just like a bunch of people just waiting in
Like
there.
a crowd. Oh, the dinner time, I think, is issue for non-first generation Americans. Because I think like there's a lot of first generation Americans that like come from Europe and they also too eat late. I don't know if this is all Americans, but there was a joke when I was a child, which is like rich people eat late. Don't know how real that is. So I do think like a ton of American people are shocked by how late dinner time is. I think I used to have dinner time at like 6 when I was growing up. So like it was pretty early, but I like the idea now as an adult of a later dinner time so then I don't have a snack.
Even for us, we consider Spanish people to eat pretty late. For me, dinner was always around like 8 p.m.
Let me say this, it depends on the household. Like some people have both lunch and dinner super late. Some people have early lunch, like late dinner. Some people like have both of them early. So I feel like in Spain, a normal dinner time would be like 8 to 10 p.m.
10 p.m. is late.
It depends, it depends.
Would you say that you guys have bigger lunches?
Yeah.
That's probably a big part of it too. I think Americans have very tiny lunches. Like that's the smallest meal of the day. Most Americans, not all, I don't need to use random person on the internet. Most.
I feel like the normal rule in Europe would be like a nice lunch, but we eat many times during the day. Breakfast, between breakfast and lunch, and after lunch, and then the dinner. But I feel like lunch would be a little bit heavier than dinner, and then because we already ate so many times during the day, like dinner would be like a salad or like something like light, so you can go to sleep without having a bellyache.
So that makes sense why it's later too. The meals are getting staggered differently.
Yeah, we eat like 5 times a day, so.
See? 6 o'clock.
But it's good for you guys because you don't have to wait.
That's true.
There's no waiting.
Yeah.
That's so gonna be me. I'm going to Spain next week.
Oh,
and
no shit.
Yeah, for traveling and visiting my family. And I actually got so used to the Korean timing for lunch and dinner. So I feel like if I go to a restaurant, I'm gonna be like at 6 p.m. like, can you feed me? I'm hungry.
And you're gonna be the only one.
And they're gonna be like, what happened to her?
I feel like my mom's gonna be like, what is this time that we're eating? Like, girl, it's your snack time, not dinner.
How Americans think Europeans live.
This is a day in the life of European people. Yeah, so like first thing I do is wake up and go to a cafe to eat a large nutritious breakfast. At 1300 o'clock it gets hot, so I just lie down. I don't like to stand up, I don't like to work, I just like to lie down and think about culture. Then I cross street as pedestrian in any way I feel. After that, I lie down to take a nap, and when I wake up, I feel tired from nap, so I lie down to take a nap. At 1500 o'clock, I drink 1 Aperol Spritz, and then I go swimming in very big, oversized swimsuit. At 1600 o'clock, I think about protesting government because we work 22 hours per weekly, which is so crazy. Like, we should only be working 12 hours per week with full healthcare benefit and 8-week paid holiday time and 9 months paternity leave, even if I don't have baby. I am not excited or impressed by anyone or anything. I have been jaded since time I started smoking cigarettes at 11 years old. And then I danced to German techno for 11 hours. And that's my day.
Okay.
Not everything is wrong though. She's judging so hard. I was like, we're not like that.
I don't think every American thinks this, and I do think the Americans that do think this, they think this about specific countries in Europe, not all of them.
Don't get me wrong. I think I get it. I think it's funny. I just don't think it's accurate at all. But I find that it's funny.
I mean, it's a really exaggerated
I think this
claim.
is more accurate about, like, for example, rich Americans that moved to Europe most likely would be doing this lifestyle.
Yeah, I can see that.
I see some things are right though. Like, we do like to claim for our working right, and we are really intense about that until we get it, which I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. We have really good terms, and I don't know how to say it. Like, I think our work-life balance is pretty good compared to other countries.
Oh yeah.
And that is because we're intense and keep fighting about that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it. So I was like, he's actually right.
The French are also very intense about it.
Yeah, but we get our rights.
The cigarette thing though, for me, is what I do think is like actually true.
French people smoke a lot.
That's like some European countries, not all of them obviously, but I do think like people kind of mix certain country things together. Like, I forgot if it's called the siesta, the like idea
Siesta,
of,
yeah.
is it like that 2-hour period where there's like nothing happening? I think they took that and they put it to all of Europe. I think they took the smoking, that's like, I'd say like 5 or 6 European countries countries, and they put that on everyone. The techno dance, they took that from Germany and they went, the whole DACH region must do it then. And then like these kind of things, and you put it all together and then they just go, Europe.
The crossing with the red light though, at least we do that a lot.
Is it real?
I do that.
We do that a lot.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
We do that a lot.
That's guilty of charge. That's because it's a waste of time if there's no cars you cross.
And it's way safer. Like in Korea, you could never, but in Europe, it's like it's pretty safe to do that. Like you should be careful still. But
I will just say, in the cover of this video, he's in Paris, but this is shot in Lisbon.
I feel like they're just mixing like. Isn't it?
But I actually think it fits the point. Like he's just mixing European things that, like from different countries. But also like, what's up with the cafe thing? Is that legit? Like, do people actually eat at cafes a lot in the morning? Like, is that?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, right before work. Yeah. No shit. Usually you get like your coffee and like your pastry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can definitely tell. I know where he's eating.
You have a good eye.
I know exactly where he is.
For the cafe thing, I also feel like, remember I told you we eat like 5 times a day?
Yeah.
So sometimes like a lot of people would like just eat breakfast at home, but then like in the break between lunch and breakfast,
Cafezinho, little coffee, little snack.
and we usually, even if you're at work, we have coffee nearby, so we would just like either leave the office or leave the workplace and then like have the coffee and then come back. So you just have like a little snack before like going.
Now this could be the American overwork talking. Are you typically having meetings, or is it just to like give yourself a minute to decompress and then?
I think it's just like a little break, because usually people finish work by lunchtime, like a little bit late.
The wine thing I think is also a stereotype coming from France.
In Portugal, we also love our wine. And I'm sure in Spain.
Yeah,
A lot of very good wines come from you guys.
but we're not like taking everywhere, just drinking it and then like.
No, nobody's chilling with a bottle like that. We could. Also, I should say the style is another stereotype too. Like even the clothing he's wearing, I understand that that's not true, but that is a really common stereotype about like the fashion, and that's not country specific. Like people genuinely think like most Europeans look like that all the time.
Oh really? Yeah.
Definitely not the hat.
No. it's giving rich European on a holiday.
Ah, Europe, the second best continent in the world. Let's go see the Eiffel Tower. Filthy.
This is true.
Eiffel Tower is?
You know we're in Berlin, right?
Potato, potato, man. You guys walked all the way to France during the war. Can't be that far.
Bruh.
Looks different than the picture. But eating French bread under the Eiffel Tower?
Oh God.
Check off the bucket list.
There you go, your burger. Enjoy.
Oh, thanks. Wait a sec, excuse me. This isn't what a burger's supposed to look like.
What do you mean?
What's all this weird fancy stuff on top of the burger?
Well, that's our standard with tomato, avocado, mushrooms, and camembert.
Camel who? What is that? What's camembert?
The cheese, the French cheese on top.
French cheese? Why would you put French cheese in there when everybody knows the best cheese comes from America?
I don't think anyone said it.
Oh God.
Whatever, I'm starving. Finally, some real food. Hey, you! Cheeseburgers, please? I'm starving!
Oh, hey, buddy. How was Europe, man?
Don't even ask. You don't know what I had to go through just to get a normal American burger.
Let me guess. Gay communists?
It's so nice to be home.
Oh, come here, man.
That was a tough watch.
I hated the whole video.
You wanna know a funny thing? When I went to Ireland, we passed a McDonald's and they called it the American Embassy.
I'm gonna start calling it that way.
But I would say, and I hate to say this, and I think a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, but the people that disagree with me are these people. There is a very specific generation that does all of those things. And there's also a very specific generation that would never do any of these things. Like they would be incredibly open. There's kind of two parties of American people. There's the people that like want to do their best to understand. Like they'll even start trying to learn the language before they go. And then there's this.
Why do you think they would travel to Europe if they're not gonna accept anything about Europe and keep comparing it to America and being like the best? Stay in America if you don't want to like.
Oh no, I agree.
If you're not gonna accept any others areas, culture or differences compared to your country, just stay in your country.
Oh, I agree.
Oh God.
Sorry.
So now we're doing the opposite.
Yeah,
right?
we're doing.
This is a day in the life of an American tourist in Europe. I start my day off by trying some of the local European cuisine. This place was called Breakfast in America. So awesome. This is why I love to travel, so you can experience new things. Around noon, I quietly talk to the locals about sports.
By the way, what's the most popular sport in the country of Europe?
To my surprise, they tell me football. I decide to go and check out a game. It was awesome to see how similar European football is to American football. For lunch, I try some more European food, hamburgers and French fries. Then I decide it's time to experience some real European culture. I can tell that this trip is really enriching me culturally. I feel like I'm learning so much about Europe. Around 5 p.m., I decide to try something new, public transportation. All the French fries I ate have me a little tired. No wonder everyone in Europe is so lazy.
Oh God.
I think I may have gotten off on the wrong stop because everything looks funny and they speak a weird form of English called German. Everyone in the country of Europe says I look American. Nice people. I'm glad I decided to go on this trip.
I've also met people like this.
Well, you know what? I'll take this guy over the other one.
This guy has the same thoughts as the last guy, he's just not saying it out loud.
It has a filter on.
Yeah, he's got a filter on. So I would prefer this guy too, but I would say that he is, again, the same aesthetic.
Same breed.
Lighter toned. The belly is also indicating the age I was speaking about earlier. It's funny.
Beard dad.
It's funny. Yeah, no, there's definitely two camps. This is that same camp, but I would prefer this man, like the one who's nicer about it.
Even in Europe, especially I'd say even like, for example, English people, you'll also find people like that. Especially with the whole Brexit situation, it's making those people more vocal, louder. It's not just an America problem.
I feel like all countries have
Yeah.
but I feel like US has a really obvious image of it.
I think there's also more of us too. Like there's just not as many people from the UK.
We all have it, of course. We all have this like super extreme, how to say, hating on other countries or cultures people.
Absolutely.
I feel like Europe specifically, but other countries too, and other like continents too, we make this really fun big meme about America, like being this super big stereotype of like they hate everybody else that is not themselves and like they only love their country.
But at the end of the day, like Europe, it's also like, if you consider Europe as a continent, we're also like, I don't know, I'm sure we're also seen as this like fancy hoo-hoo of the world. And that's why I always think that, you know, like traveling, you know, of course it comes with its privileges. You need to have the privilege to be able to do so. But that's why I always believe that it's important, like to travel and to see how other people live and just to be aware that you are definitely not the center of the world. But yeah, long story short, let's all be respectful tourists and learn from the countries we go to.
Today we watched some videos about the differences between America and Europe.
If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below.
See you next time.
Bye!